Hi, my name's Chris and welcome to my benchtop micro shop. In today's video, I'd like to show you how I made this simple saw holder. It simply holds the saw in place without magnets or other things to get in the way, and it allows you to store a bunch of saws in a very small area. If you'd like to see how I made this, please stick around. So before we get started, what I want to do is take a moment and show you the design concept for what we're trying to build today. Ultimately, it's going to be a piece of wood that's going to mount directly to the tool wall, and then there will be a series of wedges like this, and then in between those wedges will be a roller that's about the same width as the wedges, slightly smaller so that it doesn't rub and increase friction. And then it'll have a front to it so that the roller can't fall out. And anyhow, the way this saw mount works is you slide a saw up into it, and of course with that front there, it won't allow that to happen, but you slide it up in, and then the roller, just through friction as you pull down, it locks the blade in and holds the saw in position. So it's as simple as that, and that's what we're going to build. So the first thing I did was rip all my material to the height of my saw holder. I chose 2.5 inches for the overall height for everything. So here I am just ripping the backer, the blocks that are formed, the wedges, and the fronts all to 2.5 inches. So here I am setting up to cut my 67.5 degree or 22.5 degree guide blocks. These are just some plywood blocks that I'll use on my crosscut sled to cut my wedges to the proper angle. So I'm refilming this because my film got messed up. However, I'm not going to recut all the pieces I made. I'm going to go through the sequence of making these wedges, which are 2 inches wide, and they have a 67 degree angle, and where the 67 degree angle comes from is just cutting a 22.5 degree angle off of a 2 inch by 2.5 inch wedge. Anyhow, the way I accomplished that, I cut this piece of plywood. I hope you can see that. This has the 22.5 degree angle. Then I went back and cut a 90 degree cut, which gave me a triangle that had an angle of 67.5 degrees on it. Anyhow, what then I did is I cut off this just to give me a nice flat piece to clamp to. And then I came back here and clamped these to my fence. So I just clamped it here, and that actually held my piece at an angle so that I got that 22.5 degree cut. And that's how I made my wedges. So I just went through with my stop block, cut a series of 2 inch wide squares, and then came back through with these in place. This helped me locate them and hold them in place, and then just pushed them through and cut my 10 wedges. So now that I'm complete cutting all my wedges, I'm just getting ready to set up to cut the front blocks.
That'll be the main part of what you see on the front of the saw holder. I'm just using the wedge to set my stop block here and cutting the fronts to the appropriate width. Here I'm beginning a mock-up of the assembly. You can see one of the wedges with the front on it, and then I'm just looking to see what the appropriate spacing will be. I think I spaced them about 1/8 of an inch apart. I just had a scrap strip of wood that I used as a spacer in between each piece. You can see me using that scrap. And then I just glued and brad nailed everything together, and very, very easy assembly. And then didn't take long enough. Here I am assembling the last piece and cutting it to its final length. And then the next step was to determine how wide I was going to cut the dowels. I cut them just a little bit shorter than the width of the 2x4. And one of the main things here you want to be careful with is make sure the blade fully stops. I have this sped up quite a bit so you can't see me holding it there until the blade stops, otherwise it'll kick that little piece out. And just putting a little chamfer on the dowels, removing those burrs, and drilling my counterbore holes for mounting. I'm giving everything on my tool wall a coat of espresso or dark walnut stain just to give it a nice contrast with the polyurethane coated plywood.
So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This design is not mine, and I'll post a link to the video that inspired me to build this. And the gentleman's got a very cool small shop, and he likes to solve simple organization projects. I've made a few slots for future expansion in case I ever need another saw. Or the cool thing about it is it's pretty versatile. You can hold anything that fits in the slots will stay in place. So it's a great multi-use holder, and it's a great multi-use holder, and I'm very excited about it. I think simple machines and simple mechanical devices are very fascinating and very cool, which is partially why I wanted to build this. I was looking for a good way to store hand saws. You can see if I would have stored them in a fashion like this, one saw was going to take up the space of 3 saws alone in this configuration. So it's I'm storing them with the blades out away from the wall. Some people may view this as a hazard, but that is, 20 inches away from where I'm standing. I have to reach up directly to it to grab that saw, and I'm just not going to accidentally karate chop above my own head and bump into those teeth. So that will maybe preserve the life of it a little bit. Some of the other smaller saws I have stored in teeth in, and then of course my double cut Japanese style saw I have with the teeth in also. I think it's such a cool device and a great space saver. So if you're interested in projects like this, please check out the rest of my channel. At the end of this video, there will be some links to other cool videos that I'd love to have you check out. And I'd love to hear your feedback, comments below. And don't forget to share this with your friends or hit that like button and just let me know how much you liked the video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.